Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for Hello Monday. Yeah, that's right. We are back and we have something new to share with you. I am so happy to bring you a new series called Believe to Win. Now, many of you have joined me for the Believe to Win series. That is a group of folks getting together and learning how can they be the best people that they can be. We're all looking to shift our paradigms, understand more about ourselves, having this awakening journey of becoming our best selves. The same way that I talk about it on Daily Spark with Dr. Angela, right? We all want to be the best people that we can be. Well, Believe to Win is that journey when we talk about purpose. Well, I thought that one of the things that I would do is bring that series, Believe to Win, to you here on Hello Monday. So thank you so much for joining me. We are going to go on this beautiful journey for the next few weeks. That's right. This is a long-term journey. So each week I'm going to bring you a little something different that's going to help you believe to win, that is going to help you shift those paradigms, get better acquainted with yourself, find out what your purpose is, move into that purpose, act upon your purpose, and walk in the blessings and abundance and success that you believe that you should be walking in. Doesn't that sound good? I have to admit, that sounds good, right? That sounds amazing. And you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it too. So let's go on and get started. This week we are going to talk about terror barriers. That's right, crashing through your terror barrier. Now, many of you are familiar with this term. Others of you perhaps are not. So let's all get on the same page. What do I mean, this terror barrier? What is that? The terror barrier is the feeling that you feel when you are experiencing anxiety, when you are about to experience that push that you get when you are about to go to the next level. The terror barrier is that feeling of fear and anxiety that the majority of people say that they feel when they are about to level up. Now, many people do not have a terror barrier. They feel comfortable in all of the various stages of change. And that's cool. That's okay. But there are a lot of folks out there that are experiencing this anxiety, that they feel fearful, and it's causing them to pause in moving forward. Well, I want to help you push through. Push past that moment. Instead of being stuck, instead of being that deer in the headlight, I want you instead to go on and move forward. Now, another word for terror barrier is challenge. They are the challenges that you must get through in order to go where it is that you ultimately want to be. Now, challenges many times, this terror barrier that we create for ourselves, is unconsciously a wall of our fears. It is that thing that is saying that you can't do it. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can. Oftentimes, it is those fears that talk back to us, that keep us up at night, that have us all twisty and turny on the edge of our seat, trying to figure out if it is really what we are supposed to do. It is in that moment that we should start really talking more positively, not only to the external things outside of us, but more importantly, to ourselves. Our internal, our self-dialogues are so important at this moment. Our fears will erupt in that moment. But if we can soothe, if we can put out those fires and work towards our goal, work towards our vision, then we are able to continue to move forward. Now, understand that these challenges, the terror barrier, it is an illusion, as it is with so many of the fears that we deal with on a regular basis. It's something that we have used as a mechanism to pause ourselves, to check ourselves, to see if that's really what we want to do. The same way that you get that small voice in your head when you're especially exercising and you're really starting to get tired. You're really starting to almost hit the wall. And that little voice pops up and says, I don't know if we can do this. I really don't know if we can do this. We should stop. We should sit down. We should pause. We should rest. But you know that you can run another block. You know that you can do one more set. You know that you can keep going. But see, the little voice in our head tends to be the voice that so many people listen to. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can turn that little voice down. When you learn to look at a challenge for simply what it is, a fear trying to manifest in your life, you can put it in the correct box. The box of illusion. Every fiber of our being wants us to turn back, to throw in the towel, to turn it down, to stop what we're doing, to say, I've gone far enough. But in fact, you have not gone far enough. And how do we know it? Because you haven't achieved that thing that you're trying to achieve yet. You haven't quite made it there. So if you haven't made it there, then that means that you need to keep moving forward. Now, because our subconscious mind is always working, it is trying to keep us safe. It is trying to keep us out of harm's way. So it will bring up these little challenges along the way. Until we program our brain, until we teach our brain that those things, those obstacles, those challenges that keep popping up are not real, that they are in fact just that, an obstacle that we are going to overcome, that we are going to be successful over, until we turn down that voice, it will continue to resonate every time something like that pops up. So what can we do? We can hold firm in our belief. We can hold firm to our purpose, to our vision, to our dream. Our problems are not going to consume us. Our problems are not going to overtake us. Our problems are not bigger than our possibilities. Our problems are really internal, not external. We push them out there so we can see them. We push them out there so we can make them as large as the world is big. But when we understand that they are in fact not as grand or big as the great oak, but they are simply little gnats in our lives that kind of buzz around and annoy us, but that we can squash if we choose to. No harm is intended to any gnat out there. That we can take care of that. Easy breezy, right? If we change our mindsets, then we can change our outcome. And that's the energy that we should instead hold on to. We should hold on to our firmness, to our confidence, to our boldness, and not allow ourselves to fall victim to the terror barrier, to the obstacle, or to the challenge. Now, when we get this energy, right? When we find this newfound energy, not the energy that we get from fear, not the energy that is produced when we panic, but instead the energy that we put together when we are confident, when we're bold, when we are reassured, when we're walking in our confidence, that energy, that frequency, when we can operate from that perspective, then things start to change. That's right, situations start to change. We are then able to accelerate. We are able to move quickly, fastly, boldly. We are able to be laser focused on that thing that we want to move forward to. We can instead change the outcome as opposed to having to detour here and detour there and detour yet again over there. Instead, we have a direct route. We can take the overpass. We can take the flyover. That's what overpasses are for, because it is a direct route there. Now, many of you live in a city where you can take the overpass to the airport, for example, right? You're going to get on that thing and you're going to smooth sail for 2 to 3 miles, 5 miles, whatever it is, straight to your version of LAX. You are going to get there And there's no one getting off, there's no one getting on, because this is a direct shot. Well, I love those types of flyovers because you know that no one is getting on that isn't going in the same direction as yourself. There's no one focusing on any distraction anywhere else, but instead they are focused on making their goal. And that is getting to the proverbial airport, making that flight, taking that flight and successfully landing and walking in your purpose. So what are some things that you can do, regardless of what you see around you? What are some things that you can do to break through this terror barrier? Number one, you can start to reconfirm all of your past successes. Why is that important? The more we understand that we can do something, the more that we will believe that we can do that something. Think about every time that you have been successful. You believed at some point that you were going to be successful, right? That it wasn't a matter of luck. It wasn't a place of just being in the right place at the right time, but that you were ready for this. You had prayed for this moment. You had asked the universe for this moment. You had been thinking about this thing, this something, this product, this service, whatever it is. You had been thinking about this for so long. You're finally in your dream house. You've been dreaming about that house for years. You're finally driving your dream car. You've been dreaming about that car for years. You have your dream job. You have your dream business. Guess what? You've been dreaming about it for years. So because of that, you have been putting yourself in the right place at the right time, not by happenstance, but because that is the thing that you have been focusing on. That's where you've been placing your energy, trying to get there. And now you are. So if you can go back and remember those feelings, if you can reconfirm, if you can reaffirm those moments that have been successful in your life, how did it feel? How did it smell? How did it make you feel the next day? What were the residual effects of your success? If you're able to harness that, be in that moment, in that emotional state when you think about this new thing that you are trying to do. That way, you don't fear the terror of the barrier, but instead you feel the joy, the confidence, the elation. You feel the abundance of the success. Number two, I want you to start making sure that you are writing down specific goals, rather than just generic statements of, I'll do it someday. And you might be saying, well, Dr. Angela, I don't say it that way. I don't say someday. I actually say, that's going to be mine one day. Well, one day and someday are cousins. So yeah, they're in the same family, right? Ba-dum-bum. Right? So we have to start being very specific. I'm going to achieve this by, and give it a date. You're going to start putting your dream, your vision into context. You're going to start helping yourself achieve the goal. You're going to start breaking down the terror barrier by not being so generic, but instead by saying, Friday, whatever Friday would be, right? Friday, give it a date. This is when you're going to start exercising, doing the diet, reading more, drinking more water, whatever it is. You're going to purchase the car. You're going to, put in your bid for the house, whatever it is you're trying to do. That's when you're going to do it. If you say tomorrow, every day has a tomorrow. Every day has a future. But when you put a label on it, when you stamp it and say, this is the day that I'm going to do it, then that will more than likely be the day that you do it. Well, someone's saying, well, Dr. Angela, I did that. I said next Friday, and it didn't happen next Friday. What do I do then? Well, did you actually say next Friday, or did you give it the date of that actual Friday? If you gave it that date and it did not come to pass, there's a lesson there. What didn't you do? What didn't you say? What didn't happen? You learn from it not actually coming to be. Many times people in this moment will say, oh, you know what I did? I forgot to do step number 3. You didn't do step number 3. Let's go ahead, give it a new date, and let's make sure that you include step 3. Some people may say, well, I did all of those things and it still did not come to pass. My question is going to be, did you believe that it was actually going to happen? Did you believe it? Did you do what we said to do in step number 1? And that is feel the emotion of your past successes. Again, that feeling that you have when you succeed, did you attach that feeling to your success? If you did not, and your subconscious emotion for what you were trying to put a date on was actually one of fear, guess what won? The fear. So it didn't happen. We have to be aware of where we are in the world, in the space in which we are trying to create. Let's go to step number 3. Take the first step. Let me tell you, so many people will write down amazing, awesome goals. They will have everything in place and then forget to be in action. They will forget to actually step out in the action. If that's you, it's okay. I won't tell anyone. Don't worry. I'm not going to tell anyone that you forgot to actually put it into action. But here is your confirmation to put it into action. Do it. Do it. Step out. Yes, you have everything in place. Perhaps you now have to change some dates because you may have, those dates may now be in the past, and we're not working in the past. We're looking for, those things to manifest, to bring those things to pass into what we refer to as the future. So we're going to put a date on it so that we can confirm that on that date, it is going to be tangible. The thing that we're seeing in our mind's eye is going to be tangible for everyone else to see, because you've been seeing it for quite some time now, haven't you? Absolutely. Next, you're going to recognize that the terror barrier, those challenges, those obstacles that you see are, again, what did I mention earlier? Opportunities for growth. You learn the lessons there, right? You look at, okay, if you didn't get it the first time, why didn't you get it? You're going to learn the lesson, and then you're going to apply that to what you're trying to do today. Lastly, you are going to keep moving in the direction of your goal. You are going to step over that pothole. You are not going to end up in the ditch. You are not going to allow that toxic person to talk you out of moving forward. Oh no, brother and sister out there, you are going to move forward. You are going to keep moving forward. Why? Because you're not moving backwards. You're not taking a left turn to make another, to make a right turn, to make a U-turn. You're not doing any of those things. You are going to listen to the GPS of your success and keep moving forward. Yes, you are. Because you can. Because deep down inside, you know exactly what it is that you're supposed to do. So, yep. You're going to make it happen. And I'm so proud of you for moving forward. One example of this is Walt Disney. Yep, that guy, the Walt Disney. I remember reading an article one time, and the reporter asked someone associated with Walt, and says it's a shame that Walt never got an opportunity to see all of this, talking about the amusement park, talking about, Disneyland, that he never got a chance to see all of this come to fruition. And I love the answer that the person gave. He says, he was the one who saw it first. We only have an opportunity to see it now because he saw it first. Now, for so many people, that was like a mind-blowing, right? Like, boom. Like, oh yeah, huh? Absolutely. So if before there was a Disney anything, Walt had to see it. Disneyland and Disney World is not happenstance. It is because he had a vision. And because he had the vision, he knew exactly what it was supposed to look like. Though he may not have seen the completion of all of it, it was complete in his mind's eye. He may not have seen the tangible completion that we all are able to utilize in on our vacation days. He saw it. And that's what we need to learn how to do more and more. There are so many things that I have had the blessing of being able to see manifest in my life. There are so many things that have come true, that have come to pass in my life because I saw it in my mind's eye first. Let me tell you, now I'm not trying to get religious on you in any way, but I am going to tell you this. If you are a praying type of person and you are expecting for God to give you an answer, I have to tell you, it will happen. There have been so many times where God has given me the glimpse of the answer, and I knew exactly what it was supposed to sound like, it was supposed to look like, all of those things. So when it happened, I had already seen it. I already knew what it looked like, the same way that Walt Disney did. So however your belief system, however your faith would dictate those words to you, may it happen according to your faith. May it happen according to your beliefs. But one thing that I know is true, it can and it will happen. You simply have to believe to win. Thank you guys so much for spending so much time with me here today on Hello Monday. I am so glad that I will be bringing this series to you and that you can stay fired up for your work week. Until next time, everyone. Bye-bye for now. Hello.